Well, AN7 Special Projects Editor Cecilia Russell joins us on the phone line from Nasrec. Cecilia, good morning. I hope you are on your second cup of coffee for this day. I know it is the second day of the ANC's National Conference. What can we expect for today's lineup?
Well, today, the whole day, almost a whole day behind. So we can expect all sorts of things today, but mostly we're going to expect the nominations for the top six. Last night, they should have done quite a few things. The political report, not the political report, the financial report, the credentials, and organizational report, and they should have probably done any changes to the Constitution. We're not quite sure. They haven't briefed us yet exactly where they are in the program. But we can expect this morning, or maybe a bit later on this morning, the nominations process. So this will be probably the most exciting part. We'll see who's going to be nominating who. I think we pretty much know if there's going to be any nominations from the floor. I think that, yesterday one of the messages that came across was that because there are so many presidential hopefuls or candidates and so many women amongst them, that the ANC is particularly excited about this particular presidential race.
Well, some delegates who have not been able to get their accreditation due to some of the discrepancies, what is the development on that?
As far as I understand, they were working until very late to sort out a lot of the credentials problems. It was clear from what was said on the stage in the plenary yesterday that the credentials report was not ready, but nevertheless they took the messages of support. The credentials report obviously is going to be the next big thing in order to pass muster and to avoid all these court cases, because as soon as you start excluding people, you end up with going to court around it. In order to avoid those things, they'll be working really hard to make sure that they accommodate as many as possible, and make sure that that the credentials report is absolutely up to speed.
And then just lastly, in terms of the provision regarding the briefing on the Electoral Commission, just as far as voting is concerned, what is the provision for that briefing?
I'm not sure what time or what time the briefing is. There will be a plenary session where they do the nominations. Then the delegates will vote. The Electoral Commission, the commission that looks after it, will obviously oversee that vote and manage it. Now, exactly what happened last night in plenary, we're not sure whether the delegates, accepted the NEC's proposal that they vote for the top six and look at a different way of voting for the future. It's unclear. This is all about the branches. The NEC is, obviously an important guiding point, but you could see from last night when Zikalala stood up and said, we haven't accepted this. There was quite a lot of drama in the plenary. That it is the branches, that it is ordinary people that are paramount here. People that he wasn't happy with the program. He wasn't going to accept that. So you can see that there's a lot of contestation, a lot of feisty spirit inside that plenary. So we'll see how it goes.
Cecilia, let's leave it there. Thank you for joining us bright and early. Of course, Special Projects Editor Cecilia Russell joining us live from Nasrec Expo Centre. Now, AN7 reporter Batisa Mfuyo joins us live from the Nasrec Expo Centre. Batisa, good morning. Day 2 of the conference. What are we looking at?
Well, day 2 indeed. Our delegates are expected to come here at Nasrec at about 9 today. We know that they finished late last night at about 11, where there was an issue of credentials. I remember speaking to Stem Somshengo saying that there are branches, especially from KwaZulu-Natal, who are for the Deputy President, Cyril Ramaphosa, who said their credentials were not on the list. And there were some issues there. I'm not sure if that's resolved. I will do a follow-up with them later today. But they says that they feel like they're being sidelined because they support the Deputy President. But other than that, we know that Umambaleka Mbete did endorse Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa. So it will be interesting to see who else makes declarations today as we await to start at 9, and also to find out if the credentials have been made. So we'll wait as the day progresses and see if today we'll actually see nominations, as there seems to have been delay from yesterday. Remember, we started late yesterday. We started at 2 instead of 9 o'clock because of that special NEC meeting. So it just seems like the day just went from starting late and they finished at about 11. We know that the president also did give his speech yesterday, where he spoke about various issues within the ANC, talking about corporates that are also corrupt, saying that the corruption is not only within the ANC in the organization, but it's also in the corporate world as well. But he also touched on the matter of alliance partners. We know that there have been issues between the ANC and the alliance, so he also touched on that. He talked about the issue of courts. It seems like the ANC members are in court every day now. They instead of going through the processes of the ANC, they seem to be taking their matters to court, saying all those who take the ANC to court should be expelled. So there's a lot of issues that the president did touch on as he was making his address here at Nasrec. So we will see as the day progresses what we will expect today.
Pasisa, just in terms of where you are currently stationed, I mean, it's 5:45 in the morning. What is the mood, the feel? I know many people have not slept as the day progresses. Paint that picture for us.
Well, it's still fairly quiet here at Nasrec. There is heavy security. There are lots of police that are here in and around the halls. Media is here. Of course, we always want to get here first and catch the news as and when they happen. But none of the delegates are here yet. So it seems like now we will be waiting for the day to go on as the delegates are expected to be here at about 9 today. And hopefully we will start on time.
Well, in terms of, referring back to President Jacob Zuma's speech, what is your interpretation of his speech, particularly looking at when he took in corporates and what he called the enemy within?
Well, it seems like it was a fairly honest speech because he did reflect on some of the issues that people have been complaining about within the ANC, saying those are some of the things that they need to have robust discussion on, especially the issue of courts. We know that we have KwaZulu-Natal in court, we have the Eastern Cape in court, we have the Free State, we have the Northern Cape. So it seems like all the provinces are going to court today, which is something that has been concerning a lot of people. I know as I was speaking to Toiko Sehwale yesterday, he said that it is a certain day, a sad day indeed, and he hopes that whatever happens in this conference, that people are going to put their egos aside and put the people of South Africa first. Because remember, whatever happens in this conference will have an impact on 2019, so the politicians need to be mindful of that. But the president, as we were speaking today, he did address a lot of issues, especially the relationship with the alliance partners. Because remember that the president was barred from attending any COSATU events where he was not even allowed to speak and where he was booed. Those are the issues that he addressed today. And hopefully within the alliance partners, they will discuss that further and come to the resolution. Because at the end of the day, if you speak to COSATU and also to the ANC, they still agree that they do need each other. None can operate without the other. So the alliance still needs the ANC as much as the ANC needs the alliance. So that relationship, it needs to be worked on. Hopefully those are some of the things that will be worked on here today in Nasrec.
And then perhaps just to reiterate, I mean, we do know the issue of credentials has caused some delegates, of course, not being able to receive their accreditation because of these discrepancies. What is the development on that?
Well, it seems like there has been some sort of duplication within credentials. So I will be chatting to some people and find out exactly if everything has been sorted out, because it seems like there were branches that they feel like they have been vindicated because they supported Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa. Whether that is true or not, I will try and find out as the day progresses. But there are some people that feel like they have been sidelined because they don't want them here to make their vote or make their nomination. So at the moment, it's still unclear exactly what has happened, or even if it has been sorted, because as we know that they finished late at about 11, and whether or not that they finished those credentials or sorting out the problems that have been there. yesterday. So we will find out today if we're going to start at 9 with finishing up the credentials and sorting out all the issues. And of course, I'm sure the SG will brief us on their latest on that.